Rafael Nadal is known as the King of Clay, and it's easy to see why. He's the best there's ever been on the clay courts. Throughout his career, he's been almost unbeatable on clay, winning a whopping 63 titles. He really shows his top game at the French Open, though. At the French Open, Rafa has won 112 matches and only lost 3. That's a 97.4% win rate. Even his great opponent, Roger Federer, has said this is one of the biggest achievements in sports. These are just some of the impressive numbers Nadal has racked up playing on the clay courts in Paris. Here are 7 stats that show just how much Nadal has ruled at Roland Garros. He is 14-0 in the finals. Rafael Nadal has won an incredible 14 French Open titles, breaking the old record of 6 set by Bjorn Borg during the Open era. He has also won twice as many French Open titles as Chris Evert, who won 7. What's amazing about his record is how he plays in the finals. He has won all 14 finals he's been in. Nadal has been virtually unbeatable in these championship matches, losing only 6 sets in total. The last set he ever played at Roland Garros was a 6-0 bagel against Casper Ruud in 2022. In his first French Open win, Nadal came from behind to beat Argentina's Mariano Puerta. The scores were 6-7, 6-3, 6-1, 7-5. He also beat Roger Federer in the final 3 times, 2007, 2008, and 2011. In 2012, he won against Novak Djokovic with scores of 6-4, 6-3, 2-6, 7-5, and beat him again in 4 sets in their 2014 rematch. In 2019, Dominic Thiem from Austria gave him a tough challenge, but Nadal eventually won with scores of 6-3, 5-7, 6-1, 6-1. It's pretty clear if you want to beat Rafa in Paris, you have to do it before the final. He won 5 consecutive titles and had a 39-match winning streak. Nadal has had some amazing periods of success on the clay courts. One of the most incredible was his 81-match winning streak that started in 2005 and lasted until 2007. His most amazing performance at the French Open was from 2010 to 2014. During these years, Nadal won the championship 5 times in a row and had 39 straight wins in Paris. This streak ended in the quarterfinals of 2015 when Novak Djokovic beat Nadal with scores of 7-5, 6-3, 6-1. Nadal won 4 French Open victories without dropping a set. Winning a 2-week tournament is already tough, but think about winning it without losing a single set. Rafael Nadal managed to do this 4 times at the French Open, which is especially impressive because men's matches there are 3 out of 5 sets. Nadal didn't lose a set in his 2008, 2010, 2017, and 2020 titles, going 21-0 in sets during each of those tournaments. He was incredibly dominant in 2017, losing only 35 games in the entire tournament on his way to the title. He also won the Clay Slam. The term Clay Slam was coined by experts to describe a unique achievement that no other player has managed before. In 2010, Rafael Nadal swept all the clay court tournaments he participated in before winning the French Open. He started with a victory in Monte Carlo in April, followed by a win in his hometown tournament in Madrid, and then claimed another title in Rome. Nadal also won the Channel Slam. The Channel Slam is a term used in tennis to describe winning the French Open and Wimbledon back-to-back, a feat requiring a swift adjustment from clay to grass courts. After Roland Garros, players have little time to adapt to the faster, lower-bouncing grass courts. Wimbledon, hosted by the All England Club, demands a different style of play compared to the slow, high-bouncing clay courts. Roger Federer excelled on Wimbledon's grass, claiming his first title there in 2003 and winning 5 straight championships. However, Rafael Nadal interrupted this dominance. In 2008, Nadal was unstoppable at the French Open, cruising to the final and dropping only 37 games. He then dominated Federer in the final, delivering one of the most decisive wins in a Grand Slam final, with a score of 6-1, 6-3, 6-0. Carrying this momentum to Wimbledon, Nadal beat Federer in what many considered one of the greatest tennis matches ever, completing the Channel Slam. He repeated this remarkable achievement in 2010 by defeating Robin Soderling to win his 5th French Open and overcoming Thomas Berdych at Wimbledon for his 2nd title there. Nadal has achieved 6 or more Grand Slam titles on both clay and hard courts. Only a few players have succeeded in winning multiple Grand Slams on various surfaces, but none in the Open era have secured at least 6 major titles on both clay and hard courts until recently. Rafael Nadal set this unprecedented record in 2022 by winning his 2nd Australian Open, overcoming Daniil Medvedev in an epic final that lasted 5 hours and 24 minutes. This victory, combined with his 4 U.S. Open wins, totals 6 hardcourt majors for Nadal. This complements his impressive 14 titles at the French Open on clay. Nadal holds the record for the most matches won at a single Grand Slam event, with 106 victories at Roland Garros. This achievement surpassed Roger Federer's previous record of 105 wins at Wimbledon. While it's uncertain if Nadal will win another French Open, his numerous records and achievements at the tournament will certainly be remembered in tennis history for many years. Rafael Nadal hasn't just played on clay. He's changed how the game is played on it. His incredible 14 titles at the French Open show not just his skill, but also his ability to stay strong under pressure. He's so good on clay that people call him the King of Clay, a name that shows how much he's impacted tennis. Nadal's record at the French Open is nearly unbeatable, with 112 wins and only 3 losses, proving his consistent excellence. He's influenced many younger players who look up to him as the ultimate example of how to succeed on clay. Nadal's talent stretches across all tennis surfaces, not just the clay. His wins on hard courts and his unique achievements like the Channel Slam and the Clay Slam set new benchmarks in the sport. These feats show his skill in adapting to different types of courts. As Nadal might be playing his last French Open, the tennis world knows his departure will leave a big void. His fighting spirit and humble attitude will be greatly missed. Regardless of whether this is his last tournament, Nadal's legacy will inspire future tennis players and fans for many years.